Okay, it's March 5th, Sunday evening, just after the weekly close. Let's do the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. So before I get into it, start off by saying it was a super low volatility chop weekend, so hopefully everybody had an opportunity to get outside. So let's start off with news events. It's a pretty slow week. We have Powell talking on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Friday, we have the non-farm payroll. So this week is pretty much a non-event week for news stuff. So TLDR, we don't care. Let's go ahead and talk about the S&P. Okay, so the S&P traded into our must-bid zone around 3,900. We got our super nice bounce off of that. What I talked about in the most recent market outlook was this the first kind of sign of life we had seen from the S&P in weeks, basically, almost a month of just downward price action only, just bears completely in control of the S&P. So nice to see a response from the zone that we were looking for. Something I had talked about was, I did not expect it to play out this quickly, was starting for that fight of the reclaim on the yearly. So definitely a positive sign that we got, I would not have even expected us to start trading above the yearly that quickly. I would have expected us to reject off it a couple times before successfully trading above it. So let's see if S&P bulls can use the yearly as support now, and then get structure looking healthy again. Because, trading into the lows of these bands was definitely worrying. I know I had expressed that. So yeah, I mean, TLDR, the S&P, nothing has changed. We expect as long as 3,900 holds that we should be trading up. I want to keep an eye on our interactions around VWAP. So how do we interact with the yearly, and then how do we interact with the fresh weekly that we're going to be forming now, for Qs. If the weekly is looking, rough on Bitcoin and the S&P, then that's definitely a sign to be worried. But, assuming VWAPs look good going into the week, then the S&P should be good to trade up. Okay, let's go ahead and hop over into Bitcoin. So let's see. TLDR Bitcoin is let's go ahead and change this up real quick. We don't need the lower time frame. I think that we're in bid zone. So like I talked about, let's go ahead and detail on the bigger picture first. So this major HVN, I'm expecting to fight for a reclaim on that guy. We're also trading into low volume node, which is going to be support. So when we factor in previous range low, or previous range high, excuse me, which overlaps with yearly, which overlaps with the LVN. As far as this chart goes, there's 3 significant supports right there. And then when we, I guess I could zoom out so you guys just can see. Just want to make sure there's no confusion around what I'm talking about here. Go to like a 4 hour just so you can see. Get rid of this whole shit. Okay. So this macro comp region around 21.6 was the level that we expected to hold. So we're bullish all the way down to there. Don't ignore this VWAP because Coinbase VWAPs are dog shit. We don't care about those. What is interesting, which is something I did not really anticipate, is that when we zoom out, I talked about this in the outlook on Friday on the stream. I don't want to scroll over because it'll mess my chart up. But this comp right here from, let's see. For more information, check out the Paragon group with the link below, where I cover everything from how I trade to how you can develop your own style. Like I've talked about, there's definitely major, signs, worrying signs, as we have been unable to push up in quite some time. We've just been chopping. The trend was really hot and then it just died really quickly. This is a classic kind of bull market look, or a bear market looking uptrend. So I think that we will trade up, but paying attention to where we stall out is going to be really key this time. The two, I don't want to state the blatantly obvious, but the two scenarios are either we come in and set a lower high, or we come in and set a higher high and we continue to drive up. I'm kind of thinking the lower high is more likely, just because when I scan through everything, just nothing looks good right now, guys. Everything looks pretty bad. So I'm torn between what my gut tells me and what the higher time frame still tells me is that we should trade up. But lower time frame and altcoins, the beta markets are just looking like dog shit right now. So If we trade up, and I think we're setting in that lower high, it's going to be hedge opportunity. So that's how I'm looking at this. If we're lucky, we end up making a fresh high. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know which one's going to happen, and I don't want to be that asshole that tries to predict. I'm just, you know, I've got my setups, and I'm hopefully, you know, not going to get obliterated. So that's pretty much the Bitcoin thesis overall. Let's zoom in on the TPO really quickly and just talk about this. So this is our weekend comp. Again, this is something that we've talked about a bunch of times before. I mentioned this on the stream on Friday. It's the classic build a weekend comp, and we can use this now going into next week. So we'll see. As long as spot premiums stay intact, being long on the perp should be okay. Okay, that covers everything for that. Let's lightly run through altcoins now. So unfortunately, altcoins are looking like dog shit. They're, you know, I know that you guys were probably expecting me to say this, but there's very few altcoins that look good, and the ones that do look good are worrying signs. So let's run through some of them. SNX, I wouldn't consider SNX to be a worrying sign. That it looks strong, that's probably just fine. So SNX looks really good for dip buying. You know, any pullbacks into, you know, basically the $3 range should get slurped up pretty aggressively. As long as Bitcoin doesn't absolutely shit the bed, I see no reason to be bearish on SNX. SNX looks really good. VWAP structuring is looking phenomenal. You know, trading into this LVN here is going to get bought up, I would bet on. And, you know, worst case scenario, you trade into the HVN. I mean, that's going to be massive support, and if you're wrong below it, so definitely a pretty obvious play on this one. Same thing on on Wi-Fi as well. Wi-Fi doesn't look as strong, but still looks pretty good. This was one of the ones that was really worrying. I'm scanning through, and one of the only coins that looks really good still is EOS. So this thing is, you know, utter dog shit. This EOS has no reason for existence. So when total shit looks like, you know, good, that's normally a worrying sign. So I'm really getting conflicting signals on trading. This is another reason why I decided to de-risk some of the, you know, some of the altcoin stuff, and why I'm only trading 50% size on my swing longs and stuff recently. Okay, moving forward, LDO is one that really lost a lot of its strength this weekend. So I'll be keeping an eye on this one, but it's probably not gonna be one that I'm, you know, jumping in to bid right away. Yeah, Litecoin. So Litecoin is going to be at the yearly. So there's a couple of coins that I was paying attention to that are at yearly. So there's always a scenario where I hop back in Litecoin, but you know, it's probably not going to be the one I pick. But just running through the yearly. So Litecoin, OP, GRT, and Neo were all ones. You know, Neo was trading still above it. Neo gets bullish as soon as you reclaim this HVN, basically. I actually don't even know why this is on my list, but any of these ones that are trading into the early are potentially ones to pay attention to as well. And then I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to run through all these, but honestly, all these things are looking like ass. Most of them are trading, pretty much every single coin on this list is trading below its yearly VWAP, and a lot of them are even trading into their yearly bands, and even like a good amount of them are trading below their yearly bands right now, which is about as bearish as you can get for VWAP structuring. So we've just been slowly shifting towards, you know, punting beta is just not rewarding us the same way. So that is one of the core reasons why I'm going to be shifting my focus towards intraday. And for intraday trading, I'm not going to be focused too much on the beta as much. It's going to be much more about just what's really highly liquid shit, and what can I trade from, you know, comp end to the other end of the comp, that kind of stuff mostly. Okay, that covers it for altcoin stuff. I went over, you know, major focus on intraday, and aggressive profit taking needs to, you know, get pointed out as well. I know I've said that a lot recently, but definitely aggressive profit taking. Okay, that covers it for everything on benchmark and altcoins. So last thing is just going to be on content. So this week we can expect the daily routine. That pretty much does it for the outlook. Yeah, good luck out there, guys, and I'm ready to be hurt by the market again. I'm praying. Cheers, guys.